Hello everyone, I'm just gonna start streaming because that's what we do. Let's make this public. I've made a clone already, doesn't matter what you pick. Really, this is just to get used to the game. You're gonna be playing through this and you're gonna be asking a lot of questions, making a lot of mistakes. Don't worry about it. Just jump in, read what you can, and you're gonna realize that this is a really, really busy user interface. Alright, here we are. You've made your character. This is what you see when you log in. It's a whole bunch of buttons on the side here called your Neocom. Then you've got your overview and your selected item, some chat windows, and of course your screen. It's going to be most important is to listen to Aura for the first little bit. I'm going to read it out because I feel like it. Greetings, pilot. You've advanced to the elite status of Capsuleer in the New Eden cluster. I am Aura, your AI assistant. I'm going to show you just a few of the many opportunities New Eden has to offer you as a Capsuleer. We'll take it slow at first, and that's good. And when you're ready, we will neutralize some of the hostiles posing a threat to the near star system. Then we'll move on to how you can start building your own wealth and power in New Eden. Sounds like a great plan for a video game? As a Capsuleer, you gain new abilities by training skills. You'll eventually unleash the full capabilities of your mind. As you train skills, pathways in your brain become more advanced, giving you access to new ships, modules, and activities. Let's start a skill training now. This would be a great step in your new life. I bet so. So, I guess I'm going to jump ahead of her here. Let's move this to the side. Gives you an opportunity. Open your character sheet in the Neocom by clicking on your small portrait top left corner. There it is. Under the skill tab, select a skill group, and then drag the skill group into the training queue starting. It's saying try signature analysis skill in the targeting skill group. This will increase lock speed for targets. So here it is, nice portrait of the man you've made, or woman. If you want it to make it load a little bit faster, you can just minimize that. So that'll be your first modification to all these windows that you're going to have opening. It's telling you to go to targeting. There it is. Next thing you want to do is actually change it to all skills. Prerequisites means, things that obviously you can train now if you have the ability. But we want to have it in all skills. Targeting, signature analysis, add to queue. So as you can see, you're going to find that there's multiple ways to do things. Easiest thing, oh look at that. Started a training skill, gives you a ISK. Alright, already done. Oh man, that took a long time, you're right. Would we like another one? Of course. In space, situational awareness is key to your survival. Let me show you how to become aware and alert. Awesome. Alright, so again, our opportunity has been updated, but this is still sitting here. You're going to realize that Windows and Eve don't just go away. They're going to stay the way you leave them unless you close them. Get used to using this kind of like a regular computer. But first you'll notice that this is a skill queue for only 1 hour. So if we want to be a little bit more advanced and forethought into what we're going to be doing as we play the game, we're going to add to this. So what would be a good thing? I mean, you can do whatever you want, but if you're going to follow my tutorial and my stream, I'm going to add something that's very important. Be either it'll depend, I guess, on what you're playing in class, or race rather. But you can either do drones or missiles, which is your secondary weapon system versus turrets. You may not know anything of what I'm talking about right now, but if you're Gallente or Amarr, you want to train your drone skills up right away. So that'll be drone. You can put at least up to drone 3 and then add your light drone skill. As a Caldari, I'm going to be adding this guy. And as you can see, you can keep adding like this if you're just going to launch in. But then you realize you're like, oh, I want to add something else, but it's not in the right order. Well, you can drag it down like it says. So it'll only let you put it in the right order whether there's prerequisites or not. Another thing that is very important is your actual spaceship commands. And you'll see that there is a lot. And you hover over it, there's 375 levels of skill training and all the different kinds for all the different races. So you'll notice that a lot of these are locked for an alpha clone. The one that's important for you is whatever your racial frigate is. And you'll be able to train that up at least one level. And as you can see, 1 day 30 minutes. As an alpha clone you can only queue up to 24 hours, so in 30 minutes we'll be able to drop that next one in there. Alright, so we're done with that. Looking around, move the camera, zoom the camera. Alright, so we know how to do that. Guess we can go back and look, hold down left mouse button, turn around, zoom the camera, use your mouse wheel, in and out. Scout the area. You can set your camera to view, look at objects near you, other than your own ship, such as enemies or asteroids. Enemies identified by the red icon. Right-click the red icon and use look at command to inspect nearby enemy vessels. So there's two ways you're going to be able to see those red icons. You'll notice around the screen there's little dots. All your windows are just outside. And then you have your overview. So you can click on either one and right-click it. Obviously it'll be a lot easier and you'll get used to it. This is going to be considered really more your mini-map if you've been playing other MMOs. This is, the overview is kind of that same correlation I would put in terms of your actual surroundings. So right-click, look at that. We're looking at a different ship that isn't ours. Return view. After looking at other ships, you can always bring your viewpoint back to your ship by right-clicking and selecting look at my ship. So it doesn't really say how, but basically you can right-click in empty space and look at my ship. Look at that. Already done. Believe me, I think I'm going fast, but man, I'm explaining a lot. It's not easy to learn this game, I guess. Alright. As a capsuleer, your mind is directly connected to your ship. Your thoughts are its commands. Its damage is your pain. Your piloting skills will be vital in your future career. Currently, there are hostile ships in your area that are part of a rogue cloning gang. Sounds dangerous. We should get you into position and take them out and remove their threat from the system. Sounds like a good plan. Alright, so getting into position. Manual piloting. You can set your course for your ship by double-clicking anywhere in space. Try double-clicking near one of the hostile ships that are indicated by the red icons. Keep in mind that if you do not stop at some point, you could be floating out there forever. That's space for you. You can stop your ship by clicking the minus symbol on the speedometer, and that is located on your ship HUD at the bottom middle of the screen. That was actually a pretty good description. So again, as I've said, there's two ways to find all your enemies. As you'll notice, there's a bunch of stuff down in this left corner now because of how I've got my camera set up. So it'll just pop up and you can, if you know how to turn around, you can do that to try and find them. Or you can just click on it in there. So now we're going to double click. Manual piloting complete. And of course, if we want to stop the ship. Oh man. Alright. Find and approach the enemy. You can directly approach a ship in space. Even if the other ships move, you will follow. That's awesome. So the nearby ships are indicated by the red brackets in space. You can also see them on your overview on the right side of your screen marked in red. Approach one of the hostile ships by right-clicking it in the overview and selecting the approach command. Alright, so there's definitely multiple ways to do this as well, but it's telling you to just right-click one of them and then approach. So there we go. Yes, we would like another one. Alright, take out the threat. Nearby hostiles are a threat to your Empire's Capsuleer training program. This is a secure system, and their presence is unwanted and poses risk to civilians. Well, you're going to realize that civilians don't matter a whole lot in this game, but we'll go along with the story. By removing this threat, you will help your Empire and gain some useful combat experience. Removing the hostiles will be beneficial to your ISK balance, as you will collect a bounty as well. Ah yes, bounty. You'll notice on your selected item there is a bounty line that tells you how much you'll get. These guys are worth a whole 2,000 ISK. Alright, orbit one of the hostiles. The nearby hostiles are not controlled by Capsuleers, as indicated by their icons. So that means you'll know that by their icon that they are not a threat. So these icons know that you're not a Capsuleer driven. These individuals have chosen to live outside the bounds of civilized behavior. You should restore order by eliminating them. If you plan to do so. Red color indicates they are hostile and legitimate targets. An enemy ship by select an enemy ship by clicking on it or choosing the overview, then right click and begin to orbit. Orbiting your ship begins to input you in a good position to engage in combat with it. Alright, so, now this, if I hold down the left mouse button, it brings up the radial menu. If you right click, again, you can just orbit at, and it gives you a bunch of different options. So we can just go ahead and click one of them here, but you'll also notice up here, there's an orbit button as well. So there's so many ways to do it. Whatever you find most comfortable, by all means, go ahead and do it. So I'm going to click orbit. Awesome. Lock on the enemy. Before you can open fire, you'll need to lock the ship's weapon systems on your target. You can lock an enemy by right-clicking the ship on the overview and selecting lock target. Alternatively, you can hold down the left mouse button over the ship to open the command radio menu and select the lock command. So there we go, command radio menu. So there's so many ways to do it, but command radio menu is definitely going to be the most fluid motion. If you just have one to do, left clicked, drag down, lock target. So as you can see, there we go, we've locked it up. Firing your weapon. Your ship's armament is a short-range rapid-fire turret weapon. You'll want to be close for your prey to be best effective. To fire your weapon, left click on the weapon icon in your ship's HUD and it'll begin to firing at your locked target. Alright, so I'm starting to take damage here. It might actually even be called severe, so I'm going to actually start shooting somebody. Alright. Destroy it. You'll notice that your ships will have 3 layers of defenses, shields, armor, and structure. Yep, 1, 2, 3. And so does he. There he goes. Alright. Now things are kind of picking up pace. I'm going to have to lock and orbit before I fly off into a really far place as I'm getting shot at things. So I'm going to repeat that step. Lock targets. I actually did something there that you guys did not see, which was control left mouse. It's a shortcut. So therefore I was able to lock all 3 of them very fast. Radial menu, this guy's about to die. I want to go to the next one. Just heard a beeping sound, that's my warning. I just went below 25% shields. So definitely want to make sure that your shields stay alive as a Caldari, or armor if you're a Gallente or a Mar. Always remember to orbit. You'll notice that your distance keeps going away. Alright, so finish the job and clear out the remaining hostile ships. Feel no remorse at transforming them into space dust, by the way. This is a secured area of space, your Empire space, where thugs and criminals are not tolerated. Alright, looks like there's 2 more. Control left click. Then I'm going to hold down left to go to orbit. Again, as you get used to the interface, there's multiple ways to do things. Everyone's going to have their own preference, whether they use hotkeys, shortcuts, or just you can use your mouse to pretty much do everything in the game now that they've included the radial menu. But they also have the buttons up here in their selected items menu. So, we'll probably be told about this later, but the Afterburner is our other module besides our miner and civilian Gatling gun, railgun. just to make things go a little bit faster, I'm going to turn that on and leave it on. For the time being, it's not going to affect too much other than faster speed. Alright, that guy's about to be toasted. So just remember, always keep your ship in the right direction you want to go, otherwise, as they said, you're going to be flying off into space to an unknown location. Alright. Awesome. Yes, we would love a new opportunity. Looting the spoils. Ah, yes. I'm just going to start doing it now, since we're going to fly away if we don't. The wrecks of the hostiles you just destroyed contain valuable items. Investigate the wrecks and see what you can retrieve. Once you have the loot, you can advance to exploring a bigger part of the world. Alright. So, loot a wreck. Destroyed ships. Wrecks often contain valuable loot that can either use or sell for hard cash. Hold down the left mouse button over the wreck to open the cargo hold on the radial menu that appears, which is what you just saw me do. When you have the wreck open, you can select the loot all to quickly transfer all the contents to your ship's cargo hold. So as you can see, it's giving you the icon. So over here, you see there's a whole bunch of them. They all have loot. Then you'll notice again, open the cargo there, but you can also just left click and see it there. So here we go. Got some loot. Don't worry about what it is for now. It's going to be so much stuff. So we're just going to go ahead, continue on. Remember, you can close this window for now, but if you want to see what you're doing or where your ship is going, but for now, you're just kind of, don't worry about everything else that's going on. While we're doing this though, I am going to actually do my first adjustment to our overview, which is make this a little bit bigger. You're going to find out that your overview is a very important part of playing Eve. So I'm just going to make this so I can see more information. Read this nice. Alright. Oh, excellent. We've got a civilian damage module. That'll be nice. Alright, moving to the next one. So yeah, we want to make sure that we can always see everything that's going on. Like I said, I would consider this a mini-map of sorts for your local area in space. As you can see, everything that's here shows up if you zoom out quite far. You'll get used to it as you play the game if you do enjoy it. Alright, again, make sure you have your afterburner on if this is your first time. It will take time to get to all the wrecks. Alright, excellent. Got a civilian electron blaster. We want to make sure we have at least a few extra guns before we move on to other parts of the tutorial. And now you're not going to be able to use all of them that you may be looting here, because again, if you're on an alpha client, you'll only be able to use your racial classes preferred weapons. Alright, excellent. A railgun. Blueprint's not going to be as useful, but it's interesting to give them to us. Alright. Civilian armor repair and a civilian miner. Awesome. Let's move on. One to go. Hopefully you're not going to bounce around too much. There's not too much to worry about here. Alright, so we've got all of our loot. Let's just get rid of the window for now. But if you do get stuck, remember you can double click in space and your ship will simply go in that direction. So if loot is stuck somewhere around this asteroid rogue clone lab, don't be afraid to manually pilot. You know, get used to the controls, see how far you can fly. Or you can just, even better, you can orbit it. You can click the item in space I know it's hard to see because it's such a large thing, but you can actually just orbit the entire thing. So anything in space you can orbit that is an actual item. Alright. Your ship has a built-in warp drive. Oh, thank goodness. I mean, in space, you really want one of those. An incredibly powerful engine allowing you to cross great distances within star systems in a short amount of time. You can use this drive to warp to the station in the star system. Stations will be very important locations for you that offer Capsuleers a variety of useful services that we should now explore. Alright, so warp to the station now by left-clicking on its icon in the overview and selecting warp to within 0. Alright, so you can see stations are just a square, and you can do warp within 0. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I know that there's a dock button right here, but we'll just follow the instructions for now. Alright, you can see it off there in the distance. And there's a whole bunch of things because we're around a planet. And off we go. Would we like another opportunity? Base of operations. Stations are an extremely important part of New Eden. They provide Capsuleers with many important services and are also one of the safest places to store ships and items. I would say high security stations are the safest place. Low security and nullsec have differences. Oh my gosh. Alright, so if you don't like camera shake like I do, we're going to change our next option. Hit the escape button, open your options, display and graphics, camera shake. Get rid of that. So when you're warping, you no longer have to worry about that. It also turns off camera shake whenever you're getting shot with guns at near range. If you like the theatrics of it, by all means, go ahead. Leave it on. Alright. Dock in station. To use station services, you'll have to dock in it. Find the station icon in space or in your overview. Use the radio menu to dock. So again, since it's so big, it's pretty easy to click on it. You can also just do it from here, or you can see it's also in your selected items menu. Or you can right click on it and you'll notice there's the dock option along with everything else that would have been in your radio, along with a few other things. Alright, I'm going to use the right click. Okay. Store items. You can safely store items and ships in hangars at any station. This is important for building your wealth in New Eden. So, open your inventory using the pictured icon found on the Neocom bar on the left side of your screen, and with the inventory open, drag your items between your active ships and cargo and the item hangar. So, here it is up at the top. Looks very similar to the window outside, however, be warned, it is not the same. So you'll see this is called inventory. So it has all the same items. I'm going to do a right click stack because you'll notice there's some things we have multiples of. So it's very easy to do that. Just remember it's like any other kind of window in your Windows 10 or if you're using a Mac. Drag it into the item hanger. Voila! Upgrade your ship. By fitting your ship with the correct weapons and modules, you can optimize it for whatever task or adventure you want to undertake. The right combination of equipment can make even a simple ship tremendously powerful, giving you an edge over your rivals. And this is very true. How you use your ship totally depends on how you equip it. Alright, so it wants us to unfit a module. The goal of ship fitting is to configure your ship for a certain purpose, achieved by changing the modules slotted on your ship. Let's begin by removing a high slot module from your ship. Okay. Try this out. We'll have to open the fitting service and remove a module currently fitted in the ship. Okay, so fitting, it's giving you the Neocom. It's going to open up a new window, and it's the fitting window. This is where things will start getting confusing. So I'm just going to drag this down to the corner for the moment and put this up here. So as you can see, we have a civilian Gatling and civilian miner. I'm going to unfit this by dragging it into our item hanger. Voila. Fit a high slot. So ships' high slots are primary use for weapons, mining, probe launchers. Find a high slot module such as a gun or mining laser and add it to your ship. So you could go ahead and add that back, but thankfully we do have a second Gatling railgun, so we're gonna have 2 railguns now, double the damage. Alright, fitting a mid slot. Mid slots are often modules to enhance shields, electronic warfare, and propulsion. Alright, so we're gonna find a mid slot and we're gonna drag it into here. Looks like we have a 1, 2, 3. So as you can see, I mean, you know it's shields, you know it's an afterburner, it's showing an engine. If you don't have a mid-slot item, you might want to try your luck by destroying and looting hostiles at the rogue cloning facility. To do this, you need to undock by clicking the indicated large yellow arrow, find the cloning facility in your overview, and warp to it. Now that's a lot for someone that they don't give you the buttons. They just say big yellow. It's like, okay, well thankfully it makes sense that they only have the one. Let's start off by putting a kinetic, because I also know that it's kinetic. But we're going to go out to the cloning facility just in case someone doesn't have the proper fittings. Alright, so low slots are used for armor, structure, and damage enhancing modules. Find a low slot such as an armor repair or damage control and add it to your ship. Alright, so look at that. We actually have both. It's awesome. Damage control is just something that improves your overall resistances to all levels. So for your actual structure, your armor, and your shields, it's a very useful module. Civilian armor repair, it's going to repair the armor of the ship. Alright, so we're going to just leave her here for the moment. We're going to close our windows. We're going to go off to that rogue cloning facility in case someone watching this is out of luck when it comes to having something in their high, low, or mediums. So, rogue cloning facility. Again, we're looking at our overview. This could be very confusing. There's multiple ways you can sort them. You can sort it by type, or icon rather, distance, name. There's the actual type, so you know what it is or what it's called on the overview. And you'll know in the future this will be more important. Like you'll see there's tabs here for mining, warping to. So, but we want the rogue cloning facility. So, warp to is in 0. Remember, there's multiple ways to do it.
Warp drive active.
And away we go. What's some other things we can fix while we're here? Ah yes, our chat windows. As you can see, this is not a very useful chat window as it is. Probably want to adjust it a little bit. You'll see that people have their avatar pictures in here. For the most part, you really don't need to see all this, and it just takes longer to load. You click your little bubble here, you get all their chat windows. The next one down the line has an option to compact, and that'll simplify your list so you can just see their names. And then the next one, show text only, because again, you don't need to see someone's portrait and it just takes longer to load everything. If you really care, you can have a timestamp to see when people are sending stuff to you if you don't pay attention to when stuff is being typed. You can see if it was 5 minutes ago or 50 minutes ago. And that's pretty much about it. You'll see there's also a corporation tab, and of course, look at that. You've changed Windows, and it's the same thing. So if you want to change that, show compact. Timestamp is universal, ironically, or not ironically, but the text only is not. And again, I really don't care about who's in our corp chat. Local, not so much either at the moment. We just got some money for bounties, it looks like. But here we are, at the cloning facility. Oh my gosh, there's so many wrecks. Well, Looks like there's a lot of people looking for stuff here. I'm just gonna go over and try and get some, so this is where it gets very confusing for some people because how am I supposed to find what I need when there's all this junk on here? Well, for the moment, I'm gonna leave it as is because people are not gonna really want to deal with that right now. They just want to play the game. So just sort how you need to find what you want. Then you can shoot your guns, see what this guy gives us. Hit the wreck. Look at that. Civilian Gatling. Ugh. But unfortunately, because we're not a Minmatar, we won't be able to use this. Expanded cargo hold, ectoplasm. So I'm just going to take what I can use or sell, and I'm going to leave that. Because as you can see, a lot of people are doing that. If we go by distance, maybe see a little bit better, but we have to really zoom out to see where are all the things. And this is how it'll be easiest to get used to looking in 3D spaces. Just zoom out all the way. You'll see pretty much everything that's on your field of view like this, or you can sort it like a mini map of your desire on the side. Space is large, and we're just in a small ship. So it's going to take some time, unfortunately, and this may not be the most fun for a lot of people. Belter Hoodlum. So yeah, basically, if you really need to find a high or low slot, I would definitely say, recommend, or hope that you have at least 2 guns, either a shield or armor repair unit, a damage control, and you should be set. So now that you've seen what it looks like, I'm going to sort the menu and go ahead and dock back up in the station.
Active.
Remember, if you don't want the camera shake, it's an option. Just go in here, camera shake.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Alright, I would like another opportunity. Time to mine. The asteroid ore is the lifeblood of New Eden's industrial machine. The ore can be refined into essential minerals for building or be sold directly for profit. It can provide a relatively safe, reliable source of income. Good to know. Alright, so, ironically, because we've already undocked our ship, it already has that checked off as a completed. So once you're ready to head back into space, for more action, start the undocking sequence by clicking the indicated large arrow. Alright, orbit an asteroid. So, unfortunately, I think we might have missed a point here, but I know for sure we have 2 guns loaded. So we want to get rid of those. I'm just going to click the little button here, unfit module, and it'll put it right into my item hanger. I need to open up my inventory, and I have my civilian miners. I'm going to drag 1, 2. Uh-oh. Civilian miner requires 665 CPU. Only 44 is available. We turn that off. Turn that on. There we go. So, can't fit everything. So, I'm gonna go ahead. Now we've got our 2 mining online. Close everything. Undock. Alright. The rogue claim facility in the system is hidden in a field of asteroids. Warp out there. Asteroids can also be found in asteroid belts, or occasionally in anomalies in your sensor overlay. Find an asteroid in the area of the rogue claim facility, then use the radial menu to begin orbiting it. So there's a lot of information here hidden in a field of asteroids. So we want to begin by looking for an anomaly. We have to go down to our scanner and we can look. You'll see there's three kinds of scanners. One they're talking about is a probe scanner. You'll see that there is asteroid belt ore sites, so we can warp to those. So that's one way. The next one is asteroid belts, shown on an overview. Well, as you can see, there's nothing here, but we have this mining tab, and they show asteroid belts, so we can warp to those. And of course, the rogue cloning facility, which is where we just were. Oh, sorry, it's the align button if we want to actually warp to it.
Warp drive active.
So as you can see, it shows the beacon, and then the individual asteroid icon. It doesn't tell you, though, that you have to just kind of get that intuitive sense now that your overview is going to be very important. So you want to use that mining tab to start off with. And lo and behold, it's a much different look. There's no wrecks or anything on this one. It's like we're in a totally different zone now that we're looking at a different outline. As you can see, what we see here has not changed. But we can change that to match what this is. But that's for another day. So let's just pick the nearest one. And I'm just going to click it there. Alright, find the closest asteroid and lock target, just like you would an enemy. You can also hold click the asteroid and use the radial menu. So yeah, now that we've clicked it, you can actually see it in space, and you can lock it as so. If we don't, it disappears, the next one shows up. And of course, you can do the same here, and it is locking. Alright, you now continue building your wealth in New Eden. Your ship has a mining laser fitted to it. Yes, it does if you didn't take it off before. Otherwise, you'll have to go and put one back on. Or put two, like I did. Mining lasers are powerful industrial tools that break up the rock and retrieve valuable ore. Laser can be activated by your asteroid. The laser can be activated on your selected asteroid target by left-clicking the icon for it in the overview. So I get to do it twice because I have two lasers. Alright, wait for your mining laser cycle to finish at least 3 cycles. It may take a little more time, but why not take the time to fill up your cargo hold and get back to the station. Once you are done, make some money from your hard-earned labor. Alright, so it's saying do 3 cycles, so it's done 1, 2 technically because I've got 2 of them, and it's going to keep cycling. Alright, and as soon as you finish 1 cycle, it'll go on to the next one. Reprocess ore. Raw ore needs to be reprocessed in order to turn it into refined, usable minerals. Reprocessing can extract valuable minerals from the ore depending on how skillful you are at the process. Many items can also be reprocessed into minerals. You can reprocess the raw ore you've collected by docking the station and using the reprocessing service that can be accessed by right-clicking the ore. Alright, so how do you know when you're full? Well, thankfully they've done some really cool stuff here, and it's actually going to start warning you. That little ring you just heard, you're at 80% capacity. So this is your ore hold right here, or cargo hold, or drone bay. This is the button you want to click, and it'll open up your active ship's cargo. It's the same as this button here, except look, it's 2 different windows. So this is your active ship, this is your inventory. So inventory includes all your cargo. Civilian miner has completed operations, ship's cargo hold is full. So it's going to automatically stop, can't put any more in here. So there we go, we're all done. Now we need to head back to the station. Need to find the station somehow. But now we have to go back to the general tab, sort it so you can see. Looks like we have You can find it there, find it here. Go ahead and dock up in station.
Active. Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Alright. And we're in. So again, open our inventory. It's going to be back where we left it before we undocked. Go into just our actual ship's inventory. You'll see the ore. And you can right click, reprocess. It's going to bring up a new window. As you can see, it tells you how much asteroid and what we're going to get. Go ahead and reprocess. There we go. Close the window. You'll notice it doesn't go back into here. It's always, the main default is things are going to show up in your item hangar of whatever station you're in. Go ahead and empty this stuff here. New opportunity. Market forces. The market can be your road to great wealth and your portal to what you need. In the market, you can get better ships, more powerful modules, blueprints for production, or ore for processing. You can also sell your stuff you have just mined, bought, looted, or traded. Eventually, you may be making many millions through the market. Let's liquidate some unneeded assets for hard cash. So this is very true. If you know how to play the market, I believe it'd be the best way is buy low, sell high. And yeah. It's often a good idea to trade items between star systems. It's very important as well. Since prices vary based on supply and demand, star systems in need are connected by stargates. Move your minerals from the hangar to your ship's cargo hold. This is the cargo you will be selling in another system, sorry. Undock and look for a stargate in your overview. You can identify the icon shown below and use it to jump to another system. Use the radio menu to fly to a stargate and jump through. Alright, so as you can see, we have a whole bunch of stuff in here. And I'm just going to drag and select all of it and put it here. Ugh, not enough room. How much junk do I have? Alright. One thing I'm going to do, I'm going to repackage these. I cannot repackage guns. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, so what do I really need here then? Unfit, unfit. Always be armed. Oh, that's why I can't repackage anything. 'Cause it's in here. You can only repackage things when it's in your item hangar. See if that helps. Nope. Still won't let me drop. 22? What's taking up so much room? Well, fine then. Here I was trying to take all my belongings and it's telling me no. I know I was only off by a few cubic meters, but we'll just follow the tutorial. So find the Stargate. There's only going to be one. And go ahead and jump through it.
Active.
I guess depending on the system there might be more, but I think most starting systems only have the one exit point. But yeah, doesn't matter which one you jump through, there's guaranteed to be a station in any of them. Alright, for an item to be sold, it must be in a station hangar. You should dock in a station in a system. Okay, so as you can see, there is 3 stations here. Just go ahead and dock on one of them. So once docked, move your cargo into the hangar, then you can right-click an item and have it in the station and select the sell this item. Check the details and click sell. So, sounds simple. And they do have some pre-made windows versus the actual market to sell items, which is very useful. So here we are, a new station.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Open up our inventory. Bring our items to the item hanger. Right click. Sell this item. So there's a little bit of information here that becomes very important very fast if you don't want to get scammed or sell something improperly. When you sell it, immediately means you take whatever the highest price or lowest price, depending on buy or sell, to sell this. So as you can see, it's giving you a regional price, the ask price, and then some fees when it comes to buying or selling. So for now, for this much, it doesn't really matter. 12,000 ISK is not a lot, and it's just for the tutorial. We will sell. It's going to bring you this confirmation window. It's like you're going to sell this much for that, and I will say yes. And there we go. So, buying from the market. To try buying from the market, let's acquire the social skill. It's a basic skill for improving your agent relations. So open the market icon. Open the market using the icon in the Neocom and search social. Select it from the results and you'll see the sell orders. You can buy the social skill by right-clicking an order and selecting buy this. Alright, so regional market. It's this menu here. This becomes a very powerful window for those who want to play with the market. So simply type social, enter, and as you will see, we want to buy it from the skills tree. Does it tell you that? Open the Well, it's telling you it's a skill, so it should be pretty easy to find it. Click it, you'll see that there's a ton of things here. One thing I do not like about it is that unfortunately there's no side scroll, so if there is more information here, it doesn't tell you. You could have it like this and you would never know that there's that many more rows there. Anyways, for now, again, don't worry about too much of here, but you want to look for, note that the skill should be 20,000 ISK, try not to pay more than that. Once you have bought the skill, open up your personal assets window on the Neocom to the left to locate your skill book. If you need to travel to the station where the skill book was bought, set destination, and then the route to that station will be indicated. So if you're not buying in the system that, or the station you're in, you'll have to go get it. And that just doesn't sound like a lot of fun. So as you can see, sort by price, do not pay more. You'll notice that there's a lot of expensive stuff at a place called Cheetah if you're a Caldari. Don't worry about that for now, just sort by price, and you want to get the lowest. But the other thing you want is number of jumps. Jumps, I mean the number of stargates you want to go through. So you don't want it to be far away, you want it to be close. And so as you'll see, Kisogo is where we were, and we probably want to buy that. So you see there's two that someone's trying to resell them. But if it's actually from the market itself, you'll notice that it's for 364 days, give or take some hours. That's what we want to do. Right click buy. It'll give you another buy window, or similar to the other one, but this is the actual purchasing window. And so it shows you what the regional average is, and look at how great of a deal you're getting because of JITA. So we bought it, and there we go. Alright, so we also know that it's not in our station because it doesn't say station. So we want to go to that location and set destination. Alright. Let's close a bunch of windows here. And undock. Well, we get to talk about career agents. Your empire has established a network of agents throughout New Eden. These agents can be of great help to you. As a first step, you should contact one of your career agents. Alright, so a database of career agents working with your school is available to you. Take a look. Alright, get this nice window. So, open a conversation with the agent working in the field that appeals to you by right-clicking on the portrait and selecting Start Conversation. The military or industry career agents are good starting places. Alright, use the Show Career Agents found under the Help menu to find career agents. So, as you can see, there is a Help here, and it'll have a Show Career Agents, but we don't need that. It obviously gives you a direct link. It's recommending industry or military as your first. Since this is just going to be the end of this short video here, we're going to start ourselves with military, but honestly, you can start with any of these and you'll be more than capable of doing them, but I will do them in the row that I choose. So here we go. Start conversation. Sounds good. Please stop by so we can formalize the mission contract. Awesome. So set destination to career agent is the next one, since I already had set a destination to our market destination of where we bought our social skill book. Again, it's already been highlighted. So the career agent wants you to visit them. You can set your location as your destination by right-clicking the Set Destination button next to their portrait. So yes, it's very easy to find where they are. A route will automatically be planned towards that destination, in which you can see the route in the info panel. Open the star map. The star map contains an enormous amount of information about New Eden. Open it from the Neocom. So, as you can see, it's ironic, it's still called the beta. So here it is. This is the New Eden cluster. Looks very useless in this form, just a big window. And it doesn't tell you anything else. It just says the next Stargate in your route will allow you to have a yellow icon in the one. Your route will always have a yellow icon like the one below. Find the gate in your overview and jump through to move closer to your destination. So again, if you have your destination set for here, that's great. I'm just going to click back to Kisogo, which is where I've left all my other stuff and where I bought my social book. So, and then activate the ship's autopilot. If you have a destination set, activating the autopilot will automatically warp and jump your ship towards your destination until it is reached. While useful, it is not always as fast as manual travel. The reason this is not always as fast is because there's a delay whenever you jump in before the automation takes place, and whenever you use autopilot, it does not bring you directly to your destination. What I mean by that is that it brings you within 15 kilometers. So here we go. Autopilot. So there we go. There's a little bit of delay. It's gonna warp us to the station. The O7. Well, isn't that nice? Notifications have actually popped up. That's very nice.
Approaching station.
So as you can see, it's approaching station, but it says 16 kilometers away. You need to be within 2.5 kilometers to dock or jump, to dock in the station or jump by Stargate. So as you can see, this is the reason why autopilot sucks and can cause you to get killed in most ridiculous ways. Therefore, it is not recommended unless you have no value to your clone, no value to your ship, and you just don't want to be at your computer. That is the only reason to autopilot. Otherwise, you're asking for yourself to get destroyed and all of your gear to be taken from you and your ship. I'm going to do another modification. I'm just going to move this over here so it's in a more... I'm going to put all the text stuff on this side.
Docking permission requested.
There we go.
Docking request accepted. Autopilot disabled. Waypoint reached.
So there we go. Autopilot's done. And before we head off to our career agent, I'm now going to take all of my loot. I'm going to inject the social skill book it told me to. Take all my gear, because I have no need to ever come back here ever again. So I'm going to leave. We're going to talk to Aura one last time before we end this clip. I guess we have to contact a career agent, take a look. You'll notice that these people are all in the same station, so it really doesn't matter which one you click. Set destination, autopilot.
Engaged.
But we don't want to really do that. We want to warp straight to it.
Warp drive active.
Alright, career agent missions are a good start for an aspiring capsuleer making their way to New Eden. Career agents provide a useful guidance and rewards for a job well done. There are many agents out there, and many other ways to build up your skills and assets as a pilot. So, your first mission. When you've docked at the station where your career agent is located, open a conversation with them. They'll offer a mission that should be of interest to you. Accept it and you can begin to carry out the required tasks. Okay. So as our autopilot is going, and this is the end of the clip, if you don't want to watch anymore, that's fine, but I'm going to do a few things to update my overall look before we head off into the next portion of the series, so to say, that I'm making. First thing, our Neocom. As you can see, it's just a bunch of buttons, and it can be modified. Everything in here is changeable, so I'm going to make it bigger, just because I like nice big icons. And then there's a whole bunch of icons here that we're not really going to use a lot. So, Corporation, it's important. Fleet is also important, but we're not going to be doing any fleet stuff, so it's going to go. Ship tree, again, not important because we're going to just use the ships that we're provided with and not worry about looking into the future. Personal assets, very useful if you don't know where all your stuff is and all the stations you've put. So if I had left anything in station, in Kyoso, there would have been something here. ISK, the wallet, basically just a history of transactions. So don't you just wish this could be, it's kind of like your credit card bill or your bank account statement, all rolled up into one, and you can look up whatever you want about where did that money go or how much money you're making. That's all your wallet. Journal, basically when you're on missions, this is going to give you the quick way if you don't actually look at the mission that's given here. but you'll have a mission here, so this will only be used for specific items. Expeditions, contracts, planet launches, epic journal, incursions. These are all things that don't worry about for the time being, but it's good to have. The New Eden store, well, I'll advertise because I enjoy Eve. As you can see, this is your cash store. So you buy Aurum, and then with the Aurum, you can buy whatever you want. And that's the in-game cash store. But we don't need it for now, so it's gone. Opportunities map. Again, it's already given up here. It's part of this left side readout of your HUD, so I'm just going to remove it. Help, again, not really useful for us. Goodbye. Project Discovery. This is a nice little mini game. If you want something to do while you're mining, or something in station and you don't want to go out combat, or you're waiting for your friends to do something, this is something to help real life. So I'll let you explore that at your own pace. But again, not needed for now. It's excess. Industry tab we'll leave for now because we're going to use it, and then your mail is also useful. So that's that. It's nice and orderly. You can also drag these into whatever order you want. Some items you don't use as much. Chat window. As you can see, if you have any multiple channels, you can open them up. If you minimize them, there they are. Voila. Alright, another cool tip. You can group your guns together. So you only need to hit one. If it's all the same kind of gun, you can group them. It's very useful. So you can also ungroup, group, voila. Alright, is there anything else of importance before we get in to station? Tracking. How your camera. For now, as you notice, the default is just kind of a lame camera. It doesn't really do anything. It's not very cinematic, which is fine because you'll be zoomed out like this most of the time, not looking at your ship for proper combat. But if you do want a more cinematic event overall, you can do a Shift Z and you get a tracking camera. So depending on where you look, I guess this is not very good. Oh, here, now that we're at station, this should be useful. You can look at different stuff, and then the camera will just track to it. So if you are going to be looking at your ship like this, and you just want to enjoy looking at it and shooting stuff in close range, you can do that. But when it comes to actual, combat, and there's multiple ships in your overview, you're not really going to be looking at it that much. So I'm going to toggle that off, go back to our default orbit camera. And that's pretty much it for this. Hope you guys had a little bit of help in doing this. Like I said, Eve is not a friendly environment when it comes to the UI at the start, but this is definitely a game that once you get into it and you enjoy the space combat, or you enjoy the social environment, or even just playing the market and doing the industry, it's good. Alright, I'm going to take a quick break and we'll come back later.